more. And today on Good Things, we're going to find out more about the partnership between the Mississippi Museum of Art and Mississippi State University, where they have partnered together for the 2022 academic year. Joining us here on Good Things to share a little more is Critz Campbell, head of the MSU Art Department and the Mississippi Museum of Art board member. Hey, Mr. Campbell.
How are you? It's good to talk to you.
It's good to have you here, and I feel like this is just a no-brainer of a partnership. I can't believe it's just now sort of happening. So how did it sort of finally come together?
You know, I agree. It seems really obvious now that we have it in place, but it really was initiated by the museum. They were looking for ways to partner across the state to, to spread the opportunity and connection with the Mississippians. And for us, it's clearly something that the museum is almost like a laboratory for us as artists, so it's a perfect opportunity for us to work together.
So will this be for art students there at MSU, or is this partnership for MSU students entirely and the art museum?
Yeah, that's the great thing about it. Actually, all 23,000 of our students, I hope every one of them shows up at the museum with their student ID. We'll all get free admission, as well as free group tours if faculty want to take classes. We've had folks from the Honors College have gone down a few days ago for to set up a tour. So I'm hoping that we can spread the word and have students going from all over the campus here.
Well, Mr. Campbell, I'm for all 23,000 showing up at once and just making a big splash there at the Mississippi Museum of Art. But I think it's a good opportunity, too, to sort of get both together. You both are working on advancing innovation and education in the arts. For those of us who aren't sort of in that space and thinking about innovation when it comes to art education, what are some examples of those?
Well, for our students in particular, there's opportunities for doing internships. So we're going to be able to send students, and we've done that in the past, but have students, sort of learn the trade of the arts and the careers in the arts. They have a curatorial fellowship that several of our alumni have participated in, which has led them on to graduate schools and really building themselves a career. I like to say it's not unlike sports when you think about the arts. There's lots of ways and lots of avenues to make a living in the arts. So the more we can expose that to our students and expand what their idea of a career in the arts is, the better for all of us, I think.
Well, yeah, I was reading, Mr. Campbell, and I think you did a fellowship or internship focused on furniture design. I thought, well, that's interesting. I feel like as a parent and as once a college student, you're right. You don't think about all the different areas professionally once you get out where art really does play an important role, even in all forms of design. So what got you interested in furniture design?
I'd say a process of elimination. I went to a traditional fine art school, and then that led me to some work in more of the craft field, and then I just found myself really attracted to the making. I tell students that a lot. Sort of pay attention to what you love, and eventually you kind of eliminate all the things that you don't love. So that led me down the road of becoming a woodworker and designer. So
what kind of furniture do you like to make, Mr. Campbell?
It's more, I call it studio furniture, which is kind of a cross between fine art and functional furniture. The museum has a piece in their collection, and for a while that was my main source of income, and now that I'm an administrator, it's sort of my side hobby, but also I continue to be more of a woodworker than I am necessarily a furniture maker these days.
Well, I like that you brought up the fact that used to be your income or source of income, because you also use these terms called the state's creative economy. And again, we always think of like the starving artist, right? Or we think of it has to only be your side hustle, or it can be a passion, but it can't be your purpose in terms of a profession. So how would you explain our state's creative economy?
Well, that's, and luckily I think every generation is getting, our students we have now are just so adept at understanding that they're going to have streams of income or streams of revenue coming in from all different sources, and they're not afraid to use social media to get themselves out there. And so that's true for the state as a whole. There's a clear impact of what we bring to the economy, and that's everything from the Grammy Museum through the Museum of Art, through the different institutions we have here that are training artists, and then we've actually started just recently a master's in preservation, which could train artists to work to preserve old buildings and art and that sort of thing. So there are lots of avenues. So.
Well, you never know where art's sort of going to intertwine with whatever you choose. I think even in the STEM, which is the science, technology, engineering part, I mean, so much now that's drawn and done on the computer, even now to like 3D printers, which is being used. You see that intersection of having, basic art skills or understand of design, if that's maybe a better word, that's needed for some of these other more technical. I'm not sure which side's left brain, which side's right brain, but but you feel like, Mr. Campbell, you need both sides of your brain these days for where technology and innovation is sort of heading us. And at least this partnership provides the opportunity for all, as you mentioned, 23,000 MSU students to go. So if they're listening or their parents are listening to Good Things, they have students at State, and they go, I didn't know this. How does it work? How can they take advantage of this partnership?
Yeah, please spread the word, and especially if there's so many students in the Jackson area, so it's really convenient for those folks. Really, all you need is a valid ID, and when you walk in, student ID, let them know that you're here as an MSU student, and we're wanting to really keep up with the numbers so that we can make decisions on moving forward. I'm hoping this can be something we can keep in place for a long time, because it's a perfect sort of connection for us. For our students, but also for the students at large.
Well, I think it's a great added perk for the students there at State. No matter what your degree is, you should at least take the opportunity to go and visit. I feel like the Mississippi Museum of Art is one of those, best kept secrets that shouldn't be.
Right.
And so many of us don't take the time to go and see many of our museums, but that one sort of included. I know you've been a long and trusted supporter of the museum. When did you first get connected with the good works they're doing there?
Yeah, it's funny. I almost feel like it's the other way around. They've been a long and great supporter of me over the years. I'm a native of Mississippi and left for quite a while, but I've been associated or interacting with the Mississippi Arts Commission and the Mississippi Museum, since I was in my 20s. So it's 30 years or so, which is, to me, that's what's so great about Mississippi, is that we take care of our own, and we encourage the folks to thrive and do well. So I feel like a product of that support, to be honest.
Well, if someone's listening who has a student, or maybe it's a student listening to Good Things, that would love more support in bringing their professional art dreams to life, but they don't know even where to start, especially maybe if they're mid-high school or pushing towards that senior year, or looking for a major change, if they are already on a campus. Is there anywhere they can go and get more information or have their questions answered for the art department there at State?
Yeah, absolutely. We're the College of Architecture, Art, and Design, which is CAAD. So if you do a search for cad.msstate.edu, that would take you to our website, and there's a host of things, from everything from being an architect to being an interior designer to a fine artist. We're sort of the College of Makers, is what we like to say. So if you have a knack for making and design, we would love to. We can give you a tour and show you around.
And Mr. Campbell, is there anywhere we can see the furniture that you've made? Maybe not sit on it if it's a piece of fine art, but maybe at least look at it.
I've got a website that's just myname.com, so critzcampbell.com. Has some of my work there.
Which I think furniture making is one of those that people don't realize how hard that is. To make it functional as well as to make it look good, I think takes a lot of work. Well, heck, that's all art, to be honest with you, Mr. Campbell.
It is art. I have a student right now who she brought in a chair she's working on just yesterday, and it's always fun to see what you imagine a chair being and what it becomes when you're trying to actually build it for the first time. It's not as simple as you think it's going to be.
Nope, but is it simple as showing your MSU ID there at the Mississippi Museum of Art, and that gets you in for free, so we're here to spread that word. Mr. Campbell, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, and that's all year round, so from now until next Halloween.
All righty.
Feel
Well,
free to do it.
you'll have to come back if y'all renew the partnership. That means it was up to good. But I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.